championship begins with one small step. It starts with the effort you bring. Whether you win or lose, what matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a united team acting as one. We come together to witness these heroes of the hardwood pour their heart and soul onto the court. This is Wendy's High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Bill Lockoff Gymnasium at Shikellamy High School in Sunbury, Northumberland County. Tonight, it's the opening round of the PIAA State 4A basketball playoffs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, joined by guru of basketball Douglas Walsh. We'll also be joined by Aaron Dugan on the sidelines. And Doug, we've seen both of these teams come in and mature through the season. We should have a good game here tonight.
Both teams have had successful seasons, Bob, up to this point. They haven't have successes they haven't had in a long time. Unfortunately, one of them's going home tonight and one of them is moving on.
Valley View lost last week to Scranton Prep in the District 2 finals. They're playing good. They're led by forward Mark Goodrich.
Mark Goodrich, a versatile scorer. He loves the pull-up mid-range jumper, 5th in his league in scoring. He can drive it on bigger defenders, and he can shoot it over smaller ones. He's a tough matchup for any defense.
Mifflinburg, meanwhile, lost the District 4 final right here to Montoursville. They have a great scoring guard, Tanner Stoltzfus.
Tanner Stoltzfus started as a freshman, which allowed him to score 1,000 points in his career. He plays over 30 minutes a game. He pulls down 6 rebounds a game, and he can post people up inside on the blocks.
Great matchups all over the floor tonight. Your keys to the game first for Valley View.
Well, if you're Valley View, Mifflinburg, you want to play a little faster than Mifflinburg does, but you're more susceptible to turnovers that way. So they can't be careless with the ball. They must rebound by committee like they've done all year. For Mifflinburg, they need to limit Valley View to 1 shot on each possession and win the turnover battle, value the ball, be patient and methodical on the offensive end.
It's the opening round of the state playoffs. It's the battle of the paws. It's Valley View and Mifflinburg next.
Wendy's High School Hoops is presented by the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
Broad skies and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Our national anthem here at Shikellamy High School. The third member of our crew tonight, joining us on the basketball for the first time this season, Aaron Dugan. And Aaron, these two teams happy to be here. I mean, it's been a long time for both.
Absolutely, it's been a while, Bob. Last time Valley View was here was in 2015, and they were actually knocked out in the first round by Pottsville. Last time Mifflinburg was here was in 2011. They actually went 24-2 that season, but they were knocked out in the second round of the PIAA playoffs. As you mentioned, both teams are very happy to be here, but 3 wins last year for Mifflinburg. What a comeback, Bob.
Yeah, it's been quite a comeback for the Wildcats and a nice year for the Cougars of Valley View. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. The Cougars coming in 16-9 overall. It'll be Kudrich, Hawanitz, Duplessis getting the start for Bobby Craig. He's out for the season. Dixon Black and Chase Combs. They're coached by Mike Krupas in his 4th season. For Mifflinburg, same starting lineup as it was a week ago right here on the same floor. Ramir, Mentz, Yoder, Stoltzfus, and Jordan Tyson at the other guard. Wildcats are coached by Andre Roop, his 6th season. He's a former player with the Mifflinburg. And both teams getting introduced now on the floor. Referees tonight for the first game, John McDaniel, Mike Bowman, and Tim Delanovan. So there are your referees, Doug. What should we expect early on? Some jitters maybe from both teams?
I would imagine both teams will be a little nervous because they haven't been here. Mifflinburg has some seniors, more seniors than Valley View. Valley View only has 1 senior in Nasir Smith. But I imagine you'll see a low-scoring first quarter, but Valley View's going to want to push the pace and play a little faster, Bob.
Well, both these teams haven't played in Valley View for 6 days, a week for Mifflinburg. A little rust maybe early on.
Well, Valley View played the other day against Scranton Prep in that final down there, and unfortunately, Bobby Craig injured his leg. He's played the entire season, and now he can't go the rest of the way. So it'll be interesting to see how Jaden Duplessis fills in for him. Jaden Duplessis is a scrappy guard. He drives it hard, so we'll see how that plays out. And Mifflinburg, as I said before, they're going to start 3 seniors, and Tanner Stoltzfus is their leader. We'll see how they do.
The winner of tonight moves on in the state playoffs. They'll play Berks Catholic, one of the top teams in the state, or Bartram. That will be coming up on Tuesday as the 4A state playoffs will continue. Mifflinburg will be in the white with the blue trim, Wildcats on their lettering. Cougars wearing the traditional blue and gold with the gold lettering.
Am I in your way here?
So it will be, looks like Ramir going to jump against Dylan, or Kudridge, I should say. And I thought Kudridge had a great game last week against Scranton Prep. A lot of guys in his face, but he's able to hit shots no matter where he's shooting from on the floor.
Boy, he can score in a lot of different ways. He can post you up down low. He can pull up and hit that mid-range jumper, and he's got pretty good touch on the long ball, too.
And the road to Hershey starts here in Shikellamy. Valley View controls the tip. Combs and Dixon Black out front. This Black with the ball, sophomore, very young team, as Doug just said, for Valley View. They come in averaging just about 51 points per game. And this is Stoltzfus, number 31. Mifflinburg with a nice pace, and it gets to Ramir for the first 2 points of the game.
Good defense by Ramir down the one end, and then he hustles down the floor and receives the pass at the other end for a 2-0 lead.
Both teams will try to feel each other out, having not played ever against one another. The only good thing is Mifflinburg is used to playing on this floor. They played here almost 4 times this season already.
Straight 2-3 zone first couple possessions by Mifflinburg. They'll also play 1-3-1, but it looks like a 2-3 to start.
And it was a charge.
Yeah, Dixon Black, good take by Ramir. Ramir's had a good first minute. He's got a poked defensive play. He's got a basket, and he picked up a charge all in 1 minute.
Yoder, Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus, even though despite his size, one of the better rebounders on this team, inside, misses his first layup attempt.
And you notice, Bob, they'll put Stoltzfus in the back of the zone because he's such a good rebounder, too.
Duplessis, we're tied at 2 here early on.
Duplessis loves to drive the ball to the basket, and he's a pretty good finisher.
Kind of matchups are you looking for? I think on paper these two teams are pretty even.
I'd say so too. Yeah, nobody really has a big man. They rebound both teams by committee. They have 2 good scorers in Stoltzfus and Kudridge, but the supporting cast is pretty good as well. So yes, they're evenly matched.
This is Black, Jordan Tyson, excuse me, number 1. Good move. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Combs with the foul.
Valley View's going to play straight man-to-man most of the game, Bob. And they're going to try to run a lot of pick and rolls, high screen and rolls with Ramier and anybody who has it out on top.
This is Tyson, 12.5 points per game. He's a senior, but not very good from the free throw line, just 56% on the year, but that one goes in and out.
You're talking about evenly matched teams. Neither one of these teams shoots fouls particularly well.
True. He misses his first two. Hawanitz pulled it down, his first rebound of the game. Good cut, Hawanitz. He'll lay it up and in, and hoop in the arm. It'll go to the line to shoot for a traditional three.
Well, you see Dixon Black playing out on top with the absence of Craig. He gets it down. He finds Hawanitz down low with a beautiful pass and the finish. Shows you the versatility of Dixon Black. He's kind of a bigger guy. He was playing inside all year long until Bobby Craig goes down. Now they move him outside, and he's doing okay out there. Valley View's going to trap that high screen and roll. They're going to hedge hard.
Ramier, another one. He has 4.
Surprised at the pace for Middleburg that they're playing. It seems like that would be a Valley View pace, but Middleburg seems to like it so far.
Tyson will pick up the foul. Thought he had ball. And Kudrich going to the line to shoot 2.
Now you see they hit Kudrich in the middle. Tyson got some ball, but maybe he got his arm a little bit.
82nd free throw on the season for this junior.
You see Hawanitz with the offensive board. Mifflinburg didn't box out real well on the foul shot.
So 4-point lead for the Cougars of Valley View. Hawanitz got 5 right now.
Stoltzfus trying to get himself started. He's going to have to score a lot tonight for Mifflinburg.
Jordan Tyson can't get it to go. Pace favoring the Cougars. It's Chase Combs.
Yeah, Valley View is more accustomed to this fast-paced game, Bob.
Yep. Mifflinburg first time tonight, Doug, showing a little press.
Yeah, they want to slow Valley View down. That's a little tempo control. They won't trap out of it too much, but they'll play 2-2-1, 3/4 court just to slow Valley View down. Yoder drives it hard to the basket as well. But as you said in the open, Bob, I think guys are a little nervous here. A few unforced turnovers you see early on. That usually means the guys have some jitters. Not a 1-3-1 defense by Mifflinburg. That's their calling card. This is what they play the best.
How much you worried about Craig being out from the point guard as Duplessis lays it in?
Well, this team is versatile. They all do a lot of things well. I think on paper they don't like that loss, but they have other guys that'll step up.
Ramier forcing Hawanitz in, and in the paint, Ramier has 6 points already.
Well,
all 6 for Mifflinburg.
Obviously, he's the biggest guy on the floor, so they want to establish him, and they're doing a good job of that so far. He's certainly stronger than everybody else as well.
Stroking it is Kudrich.
Yeah, he can score in so many different ways. He does like that mid-range jumper.
Quick pace, Yoder.
Good left-hand finish by Levi Yoder.
Did you say low scoring first quarter?
Shows you what I know.
Yeah. Neither team showing any jitters whatsoever. Stoltzfus has not scored yet. It hasn't mattered.
Again, though, Yoder gets deep into the lane with the drive. If you're Valley View, that's going to be a concern for you. Again, you see the 1-3-1 defense by Mifflinburg.
So that takes us to our first timeout, and it's a 4-point lead for the visitors from Valley View. We'll be right back.
Come to Clarkie's Billiards on Kennedy Drive in Archibald and have a chance to win a free pool cue every Friday and Saturday night. Clarkie's is open 7 days a week and offers free pool lessons from the area's premier billiards professional, Kevin Clarkie. Join us every Friday for pool tournaments, plus kids enter for free. Clarkie's Billiards, 14 Kennedy Drive in Archibald.
Thank you to our sponsors tonight who've made this game possible. We are at Shikellamy High School. 4-point lead for Valley View. They've scored in many different ways and many different guys. Ramir for Mifflinburg leading the Wildcats with 6 so far.
See Chase Collins getting his hand in there. He's got 60 steals on the year. There's another one. Gets Valley View another possession, and Kudrich with a nice pull-up jumper.
The more you watch him, the more you're just impressed with the way he shoots the ball.
He's a good player all the way around. Good defense there as well. He does everything well.
Well, if anything, Valley View's getting great experience because, as you said, just one senior on this team. Hawanitz with another bucket underneath. Timeout call by the Wildcats with 2:06 remaining. Will stay right here.
Now you see Dixon Black taking over the point guard duties since Bobby Craig is out, and he's doing a real good job finding his buddy Dylan Hawanitz down there underneath the basket. You asked about the
matchup we're looking at.
Yeah, okay. Dixon Black and
Black again, and Ramir. Well, one's playing point guard, one's playing underneath. So
they're both doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Dixon Black running the show for Valley View, and Austin Ramir down low. He's kind of been unstoppable so far with 6 of the first 8.
So far, though, Valley View's held out Mifflinburg's leading scorer. Stotzman's in check. He hasn't scored at all.
Yeah, he's only taken 1 shot, but you know, there'll be a time in this game he can take it over, so you can't sleep on him.
Stotzman's averaging around 16, maybe 17 points per game.
Well, you notice they have Kudrich on him too, Bob. A little bigger defender. He's probably not used to that.
That's going to be a double dribble. Jordan Tyson.
You know, a lot of times when you're going over the scouting report in these games, when you have an unfamiliar opponent, you find out who the best guy is on each team, and you give your guy, the best guy on your team, this is your challenge. You got to stop the other guy and see who's better.
Daniel Black in, number 10 for the Wildcats. Mensch just took a seat, number 2.
Good pressure out on top by Yoder in that zone.
I don't think doesn't matter what gym Kudrich shoots the ball in. Every time he does, it looks like it's going in.
Yeah, and he elevates Bob. He gets up pretty high on that jumper. Plus, he's, as I said in the opening to you, he's a little taller than I thought he was. He's probably 6'2", 6'3".
Foul on the floor. Going to go against the Cougars.
Yeah, they're going to get Dixon Black a little bit over the back a little bit on that entry passage of the post.
That's second foul on Dixon Black. He'll come out. Senior Nasir Smith comes in.
Yeah, he's the only senior they have on Valley View's team.
Now he's guarding Stoltzfus, so
he's
even
he's
taller
got
player.
Yeah, that's the MO. They want to put a taller guy on Stoltzfus so he can't shoot over them.
Yoder trying to look for Ramir. And we have a foul underneath, and Ramir will go to the line.
They're going to get Kudrich. He doesn't think so, but nobody ever thinks they commit a foul, do they, on the defensive end? Well, you can see that, though, that Mifflinburg is making a concerted effort to get Ramir the ball inside and try to post him up.
Ramir, 60% on the line this year, averages about 8.5 per game. He had 9 points last week against Montoursville. There is Andre Roop, 6th season, former player, as I mentioned, with the Wildcats. And we're going to have a lane violation against Mifflinburg.
Yeah, Tanner Stoltzfus got a little aggressive on the foul shot and got in there a little too early. Now they're back 2-3 this time, Mifflinburg.
Blocked away by Raymer. Wildcats given about 52 points on this season, a little bit right about the same numbers as Valley View gives up on the season.
Yeah, but so far in this first quarter, 18 is going to get you higher than 52, so they're going to have to, Mifflinburg's going to have to tighten it up on the defensive end.
It's always interesting to see when two teams come from different conferences. You know, it just shows what type of basketball you're seeing in different parts of the state.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's something you haven't seen all year, if you can believe that, after playing 25 games or so. A matchup that you haven't seen all year.
And that's why some teams, you see them go play in those invitationals. They try to get a game out of the area.
Yeah. During the season, sometimes they branch out and play one of those games.
Yeah. Neither team has done that.
Obviously, Valley View going for the last one. 5 seconds to shoot.
Smith is open. And the first quarter's in the book as Smith's shot goes off the mark. And after one, the Cougars have come into Shikellamy and they lead the Cats by 9.
A lot of people don't like that call.
Oh. So second quarter's underway. 18-9 lead for the District 2 runner-ups, and Kudrin hits another one, floating away.
Boy, excellent out of bounds play underneath. Kudrich takes it out, throws it deep, and then he sneaks in on a curl behind the post screen for an easy jumper.
Mifflinburg has 9 points. That matches what Kudridge has right now already.
You know, coming into the game, Coach Rupp is going to say, well, we've got to stop Mark Kudridge, number 2. That's easier said than done, as you can see.
Duplessis in, can't get the roll.
If you're Valley View, though, you like that aggressive take to the basket. That's the way they go. That's the way they play. Always putting pressure on the defense with the drive.
Cougars staying in that man-to-man. Tyson. Ramir trying to do anything he can to help the Wildcats.
But if you're Valley View, you don't mind that shot by Ramir out on the perimeter, 12, 15 feet away. Again, 2-3 zone defense by Mifflinburg.
Valley View is run through the playoffs. Kudridge shot off. We said they beat Prep before that. They beat Nanticoke, who was missing one of their top players, 48-41. They opened the District 2 playoffs with a nice win over Tunkhannock, 47-38. Their last loss about 5 games ago to Honesdale, 48-46.
And, you know, and they had a big win against Scranton Prep in the middle of the year and knocked Scranton Prep out of their title hopes. So they can beat anybody. They can play with anybody, Valley View.
That was for the Division I title of the Lackawanna League. Stoltzfus quickly double teamed. He gets his first 2 of the night, and it comes about midway through this second quarter.
Yeah, he's going to have to start scoring for Mifflinburg if they're going to come back and win this one.
Kovalchik in the game, number 15. He gave it up, and he's going to get the foul. There's the freshman.
Well, Zach Kovalchik, freshman, as you said, is playing now a little bit more because of the absence of Craig. He's only a freshman, though. A little bit, I don't want to say timid, but a little nervous. I'm sure the nerves are getting to him.
That is the team fifth, Anderson
So the senior, who averages 17 points per game, shooting 73% from the line. Kovalchik will take a breather.
Now, he's in there to give maybe a half a minute or a minute rest for each of the players. They rotate around him, and then they go back with the regulars.
Two big misses for Stoltzfus. Right into Dylan Wanet's hands. Both teams right at our table. Did you flinch?
No, I had that all the way.
You did?
Yeah.
I know you did. I know you did.
The ball came right into my hands. Yeah. Oh, I got a layer time. See that? Huh?
Mifflinburg in the Pennsylvania Heartland Conference. 4-7 in Division II. As Aaron said, they were 3-20 last year. Year before that, 7-15 and 5-16. So they've averaged around 5 wins a season until this year. But it's a senior-laden team. Down by 9 right now, and Duplessis is going to get called on a reach.
Yeah, out in the middle of the floor. Referee McDaniel had that right in front of him. Everybody in the gym saw it. You have to call it.
That's a 6-team foul on the Cougars, just 2 on Mifflinburg.
Well, on one hand, Mifflinburg doesn't shoot fouls too well, but on the other hand, Valley View doesn't go too deep, so you can't get into foul trouble.
Second quarter brought to you by Plaza House Furniture.
Valley View switching everything along the baseline on the defensive end, talking to each other.
Stoltzfus likes to do his damage in there, and he'll have to go to the line to earn it. Gets up slowly after the big hit.
Coach Kerber's a little upset with that. The good drive by Stoltzfus. And if you're, what he's telling his guys, if you get beat off the dribble, don't foul him, because then a lot of times when you get to the foul line, you're struggling a little bit, like Stoltzfus might be tonight. A couple foul shots get you going sometimes.
He's had a rough 2 games last week in the championship game, which was low scoring. He only had 4 points.
Yeah, and they only scored 32, the whole team. So,
yeah.
You know, Montoursville did a good job playing defense on them. 46-32, I think, was the final.
It was. He missed. He's 1 for 4 tonight from the charity.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic for Tanner.
Maybe the nerves getting to the Wildcats.
He's probably the best shooter on the floor at 73%.
Kudrich with another one. He's in the double figures.
Boy, he's got great legs, doesn't he? He gets up quick, and he gets up high.
He will be something to watch next year, no doubt.
Yeah, he'll be one of the best players, no doubt, in the Lackawanna League.
Stoltzfus doesn't really like to shoot from the outside, right into Duplessis' hands. He'll push the pace, take 1 on 2, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Jaden Duplessis, that's what he does, Bob. You're not going to see him pull up and shoot too many jumpers. He takes the ball to the basket. He takes it to the basket strong and hard. And a lot of times he ends up where he is now on the foul line.
Logan Mentz with the foul. That's the 3rd team foul. Duplessis now with 2.
Yeah, he's
3 points, excuse me.
He's one of the better foul shooters at 60%. That puts him over 60 now, making that one. I guess I jinxed him.
Ball on the floor, and everything going the way of the Cougars, right into Awanitz's hands. Duplessis baseline. Hawanitz will shoot out there once in a while, and he likes it tonight. Downtown for Dylan Hawanitz.
That looked good all the way. We had a pretty good angle on that one, didn't we, Bob?
Yep.
And that looked true all the way.
16-3 on the year, a 14-point advantage for the visitors. Yoder in, up and under.
Well, that's the good sign for Mifflinburg. If Yoder can get all the way to the basket, that's the 3rd time he's done that, and he's finished. If you're Valley View, you got to keep him out of the lane.
To Hawanitz, another one. Dylan Hawanitz having a nice game. He's got 7 in this quarter.
Well, you notice Valley View, Bob, they play pretty unselfishly. Everybody gets a touch. They always hit the open man. They sometimes have a good one and they pass it up for a better one. Very unselfish.
That's a big one from Jordan Tyson. Mifflinburg needed that basket.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They needed that basket. Gets it down to 11. If you're Mifflinburg, you'd like to get it to single digits, but you're going to have to stop that guy if you're going to do that.
How much can one player make a difference in the state playoffs?
Well, you saw it with a guy by the name of Bobby Sir, Jerry McNamara, and a few others. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob Stevenson from up our way. So one guy can make a difference, and certainly this guy can.
And we'll take our timeout. 2:25 left in the half. It's a 14-point lead for Valley View.
Mid-Valley Plumbing Supply has been offering a full line of quality residential plumbing and heating products since 1958. Not an internet e-tailer. We invite you to come visit our extensive kitchen and bath showrooms located in Peckville and Carbondale.
Welcome back to Sunbury. 31-17 your score. 2:25 left in the first half of this PIAA opening round of the 4A playoffs. Jordan Tyson on the line for Mifflinburg. They trail now by 13.
Well, if you're Mifflinburg, you know, you're okay with these other guys scoring a little bit. That's where you need your supporting cast. So you're going to need Stoltzfus to get off a little bit. But on the other side of the coin, your job is to stop Mark Kudrich from scoring. And you're not really doing a real good job at that. And that's the difference in the ball game.
So Black pulls it out. This sophomore, number 31, running point. Bobby Craig out for the season.
Looks like they're going box and one now on Kudrich, with Yoder going to play man-to-man on Kudrich, and the rest of the guys are going to play zone.
Something they don't want to force it. They tried to force it to him, but luckily Black with a spin it in. Woo!
Now, so if you're Valley View, you're going to take what they give you on the defensive end. Mifflinburg is going to try to take Kudrich out, so you're going to see other guys drive the ball to the basket for Valley View.
The foul. It's like Tyson will go to the line.
Yeah, they're going to get Dixon Black, I think. That's going to be his second.
Dixon Black is charged with that foul. That is his third.
Third.
It's his third.
Third foul. He sat with 2 just the beginning of the second quarter. So they'll go deep to the bench. Will Valley View. Tomasoni looks like ready to come in. Jordan Tyson hits one.
Yeah, Dixon Black will sit the remaining minute and 38 seconds of this first half, and he'll probably come back to start the second half. They can't have him on the bench for a long period of time, though, so he's playing so well. Tomasoni, only a sophomore.
Well, the Wildcats need some stops here late in this first half. Get this lead down. Owanitz. Another one.
They all play with confidence, Valley View. They all shoot it with confidence. They all drive it with confidence.
14 points for Dylan Owanitz. Mensch. No good.
Boy, that shot was halfway down and came out. Nobody in the building can believe that didn't go in for Logan Mensch.
Mifflinburg came in averaging around 56 points per game.
They're going to get Tomasoni. That's going to be double bonus now.
Yep. So a foul on Valley View.
Nick Tomasoni with the foul.
That's the 10th foul. And
Jordan Tyson to the line, shooting 2.
another one for Jordan Tyson. 3 for 4 so far. And we're going to have it's a double bonus.
Yeah, double bonus. They didn't realize it. They thought it was 101. You know, if you're Mifflinburg, Bob, and I know you're not a good foul shooting team, but when the clock is stopped and you're down 14, 15, 16 points, you've got to make foul shots.
Coming up at the half, Aaron Dugan will join us.
Looks like Valley View's going to hold it out and play for one. Tyson with his hand in there almost stole it from Tomasoni. Dylan Hawanic is directing traffic at the high post, saying, let's kick it out, let's play for one. Yeah, Mifflinburg has a couple fouls to give. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep giving 2 or 3 more, but I always thought if you're the team that's going to foul, maybe put some substitutes in the game right now to commit those fouls, because you're getting guys in foul trouble. You still have 2 more to give.
Cougars shooting it at a high percentage here at Shikellamy High School.
About 10 to shoot. They're going to probably try to get some screens and get something for Kudrich.
Hawans has a hot hand. Body's hitting the floor, and time runs out on the first half. Well, what a half it's been for the Cougars from Valley View. They make the 2-hour trek to Sunbury, and things are going their way right now. A 14-point lead at the half.
We welcome you back in here on MyTV, WQMY. It's halftime of Game 1 here at Shikellamy High School. Valley View 35, Mifflinburg 21 at the half. And make sure to stick around for Game 2 to follow, which will be Montoursville and Middletown. It's a big weekend for high school hoops, but also college hoops. Big weekend for the University of Scranton as they host Division III regional finals this weekend. They're in it along with Bowdoin, Tufts, and Messiah. It's going to be a great weekend. Action starts tonight, winner going to the Final Four, and Bob I got a chance to catch up with head coach Trevor Woodruff and the team earlier in the week.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the University of Scranton Lady Royals basketball team. But don't tell that to them.
We kind of started the season with that underdog mentality, and it's kind of just spiraled from there. And you know, we didn't mind when people said that, you know, this year was going to be a rebuilding season, because to us it wasn't a rebuilding, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't that kind of process for us. It was more so we're going to go out, we're going to give 100% every game and just do our thing.
With you, we weren't quite sure at the beginning of the year how we were going to make up for what we lost in graduation to 3 seniors, all quality, important players, 2 of which are probably 2 of the 6 or 8 best players in the history of the school. So we weren't sure. We had some struggles early on. We were able to win through the struggles. But it seemed like when we came back for Christmas that things started to click a little bit. Everybody started to find their role. And, you know, everything has really worked out. We've played a bunch of close games. We've found a way to win them all but one. And, you know, it isn't any one thing. But if I did have to say, you know, what has stuck out to me about this team, it's been team chemistry.
We definitely proved a lot of people wrong this year already. We're just trying to do what we can and keep it going as long as we can.
The winning has gone on since December 2nd, when the Lady Royals lost for the last time. That's 23 wins in a row, with a lot of help from Dunmore's Emily Sheehan and Wallenpaupack's Bridget Mann.
There's no question that they're 2 of the biggest reasons. You know, when you look at Bridget, she's carried the workload for us offensively throughout the season. Emily is really our #1 defensive player, so they're kind of the yin and yang.
It's actually really cool, because, you know, you never really would have thought you'd always come to the games when you were little and everything, and it was always like something you aspired to be. And to be able to put that uniform on now, there's just so much tradition, and you can just feel it in the locker room.
It's so exciting to be so close to home, and I see people out, and they're always like congratulating me and everything. I feel proud to be representing this area, so it's definitely a really exciting time for us.
This weekend, Scranton hosts the Division III regional finals at the John Long Center, a home court where they are 16-0 this season.
It's an incredible opportunity we have. We're very fortunate. We haven't had a lot of games away from this gym since the middle of February, so we love playing at home. We have the best fans in the world who really come out and support us, so it's really going to help us come Friday night.
The Lady Royals will need that tradition in their first game when they meet 5th-ranked Bowdoin. If the Lady Royals can knock off the Polar Bears, they'll leap into the Elite Eight with a chance of making the Final Four for the first time since 2006.
They're a great team, and we haven't seen a team like them who presses the way they do and whatnot, and they're aggressive. So we just have to come out and play our best game.
As long as we can keep our composure and play to the ability that we've been doing all season, I think we'll be fine.
We have to play our best. I don't think we played our best game yet, so I think that this coming weekend, it's going to come.
In Scranton, Bob Ide, Fox 56 Sports.
All right, thanks for that, Bob. Best of luck to the Lady Royals. Make sure to stay with us here on MyTV WQMY. So much action coming up. Valley View and Mifflinburg when we come right back.
We are back at Shikellamy High School in Sunbury, Northumberland County. Valley View has made the trek from Lackawanna County down here, and they lead Mifflinburg by 14 points at the half. Bob Ide and Doug Walsh courtside enjoying this game and thought it'd be a little bit closer, but boy, you got to give a lot of credit to the Cougars.
Well, they came ready to play. They got off the bus and they started shooting it. This pace that they got going here, it definitely favors Valley View.
And I thought they got off the bus a little bit late too. Maybe they didn't some traffic on the way, right? There's always traffic.
Maybe
on
they were
81.
practicing on the highway. I don't know.
I don't know.
They came ready to play.
Well, one guy that did come with the play is Kudrick and also Hawanitz, the leading scorers.
Between those two guys, they have 2/3 of their points and 26 points. And you need supporting cast to do it. Obviously, you need your best player in Kudrick to score. Mifflinburg's going to have to do a little bit better job of slowing down Kudrick. They went to the box and won late. That kind of slowed Kudrick down, but the supporting cast has to come through for Mifflinburg.
Yeah, they've held Stoltzfus to just 3 points. He's their leading scorer for the Wildcats. What does Mifflinburg have to do in the second half?
Well, Yoder got into the lane a few times pretty easily. They're going to have to do that again in the second half. They're going to have to find some way to get Stoltzfus some good looks, maybe get him coming off some screens, and they're going to have to continue to get the ball into Raymier on the baseline.
How about we take a look at some first half highlights? Sounds good? Okay, let's
Sure.
take a look at what we have.
You see
Raymier early on had it going.
And he had the first 6 points for them, and you see the turnaround there by Jordan Duplessis. He loves to drive it the way he does. Again, they go into Raymier, and a little bit of a mix-up on the defensive end there. And you see sharing the ball, Jaden Duplessis again going to the basket from his teammate, and then just sheer strength down there, taking Hawanitz to the basket. And this is what this guy can do pretty well. Pull up and hit those mid-range jumpers, Kudrick. He's excellent at that. A guy once told me, John Gallo used to tell me, you can tell a good player by his mid-range game, his pull-up jumper. And certainly, as you can see right there, Mark Kudrick has that part of in his repertoire.
Yeah, he's got 14 points. That guy also has 14 points, Dylan Hawanitz. He's playing well. And Stoltzfus got going late, but it's just not enough so far. He only has 1 field goal in that first half.
I think he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end and drive it to the basket in this second half if Mifflinburg is going to climb back into this.
So that's the score at the half. It's 35-21. Valley View looking to move on in the state playoff. Can Mifflinburg get back into it? We'll find out.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
Both teams on the floor ready to go for the second half as we put 8 minutes up on the clock for the third quarter. Let's take a look at how the Heartland Conference finished in Division II in 2017 and 2018. Mifflinburg was, as I said, in the mix a little bit, but Danville played pretty well. And we're underway here in quarter number 3. Again, Valley View in the blue with the gold trim. Mifflinburg, the Wildcats, in the white with the dark blue lettering. Inside, Duplessis blocked. Stoltzfus gonna run. Takes it all the way, no whistle. Ramir's there, and he's going to be called for a travel.
Much to the dismay of the Mifflinburg faithful. They've pushed it. Stoltzfus with the push all the way up the floor. And Coach Rupp wants to know, what was that call?
Well, Valley View led at the end of one, 18-9. They extended that 9-point lead into 14 at the half. And Duplessis puts that one in off the hit, and he'll go up to the line to complete the three-point play.
Well, with the box and one on Goodrich, Valley View's going to run their regular man-to-man offense. They ran the old flex offense that Gary Williams made famous at Boston College years ago. And they got Jaden Duplessis down low for an easy one. Valley View with a straight man-to-man defense at their end.
Biggest lead of the night for the Cougars. Duplessis is going to be fouled. He'll say he'll shoot two.
Boy, good defense by Valley View. They pressured the ball. They come up with the steal. Duplessis does what he does so well. Drives it hard to the basket and gets himself to the foul line again.
Jordan Tyson with the foul. That's his third. You're running up and down the floor. That's right into Valley View's wheelhouse.
Well, the problem with for Mifflinburg is, Bob, you have to play a faster tempo now in the second half to get back in the game. And as you said, that feeds right into Valley View's hands.
He converts on those two. 9 points now for the junior. Just one senior again on this Cougar team. That's not what you want to see from Ramir.
Boy, good defense by Combs. Came all the way from the top and poked it away. Caused the turnover.
This game will giving Valley View a lot more confidence. Blocked away from Hawanitz. And a foul underneath against Mifflinburg.
Boy, what athletic ability by Dylan Hawanitz. He was trailing that play a little bit. Caught up to it. Excellent block.
Yoder with a foul. Daniel Zach back into the game. He saw some action in the first half.
But he goes for Ramir, and now this lineup is real small for Mifflinburg, so they're probably going to play a faster tempo, a pressure type defense, maybe some trapping.
Biggest lead of the night for the Cougars. Nice pass from Kudrick, but Duplessis just couldn't find the hoop. Stoltzfus, a little fade away, and that's good.
Yeah, see, they must have talked about it at halftime, Bob. Tanner Stoltzfus has taken 2 shots already, and he's driven it hard to the basket so far to start this third quarter.
Well, no one stopped Dixon Black. They were going to foul under the basket against Duplessis. His second.
You see Coach Kerpus in there rolling his eyes. It's a little helter-skelter by his Valley View team. He doesn't really like that. Yeah, if you're Mifflinburg now, you got to get a couple of good sets. You need some good offensive possessions. You need some good shots, and you got to convert.
Jordan Tyson going to be called for the travel on the move for the outside.
Mifflinburg has guys have a look of dismay on all their faces.
Coming off that loss last week to Montoursville. You know, they did have a nice win over #1 Danville. And it's just too easy now for Valley View.
Well, Mifflinburg wants to keep the score, 45 or less, and Valley View already has 41. They're not built to score that many points, Mifflinburg isn't, especially if Stoltzfus is struggling.
No foul. Hawanitz hits the paint. And Stoltzfus comes up with it. He'll run the floor. Yoder to Tyson. Now you're just pressing. Now you're
yes, you're absolutely right. Well, that's what you want. You want Yoder to drive it hard. He does. He draws the help, and he gets it to Tyson, and Tyson comes up a little bit short on the teardrop. So they're trying to post up the bigger people now inside for Valley View. They're trying to get Hawanich down there on the block.
Kudrick fighting. Had 2 chances at it. He hasn't scored in a while since, as you said, they went to that box and won. Blocked by Kudrick. He can do that, though.
Yeah. This is a pretty good defensive effort that Valley View is putting forth tonight so far.
Again, bodies on the floor already, all over the place.
Well, Valley View's gotten their hands on a lot of balls. They've gotten a lot of steals. They've gotten some block shots. They've challenged. They're playing really good on the defensive end.
So Combs going to the line. Chase doesn't score tonight. .48% from the line, but hits that one.
Yeah, that one looked pretty good. Pretty good form, good rotation. Yeah, he looked like he's pretty confident. That one looks good too. Well, you start to feed off each other too, Bob, in a game like this when everybody's playing well, and you know, you feed off that as a teammate.
Men's short.
Yeah, I think you're right. Pressing a little bit because you're at the point now where you can't afford too many misses, and they're coming up short. They're short-arming the shots. Coach Rupp thinks about calling a timeout, but he knows if he gets back in this, he's going to need those later. So he said, no, I won't call it.
On the floor, and that should take us to our under 4 timeout here in the 3rd quarter. Well, Valley View has come out of the locker room and extended their lead. Now it's 45-23.
Come to Clarkie's Billiards on Kennedy Drive in Archibald and have a chance to win a pool cue every Friday and Saturday night. Clarkie's is open 7 days a week and offers free pool lessons from the area's premier billiards professional, Kevin Clarkie. Join us every Friday for pool tournaments, plus kids enter for free. Clarkie's Billiards, 14 Kennedy Drive in Archibald.
Yoder takes it in, lays it in. Yoder has 6. A little bit of pressure put on by Mifflinburg, now down 20.
Yeah, you see Mifflinburg has to go man-to-man, Bob, and they're not accustomed to doing that. They're forced to do it now, and it's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is the zone defense. So it's they're in a kind of a bind. They have to do something that they don't normally do well and they don't want to do, but they have no other choice.
Let's talk about Mike Kerpus. You see him right there. 4th season. He's done a great job. Was an assistant with Larry Pagula before that. And, you know, I talked to someone the other day, and he said maybe the most underrated coach in the Lackawanna League.
I tend to agree with that, you know, and he's very humble, too. I talked to him, Bob. Other people have talked to him. You know, what do you think about your team? And he said, I have good players, he said. You know, a lot of guys would take credit and say, oh, yeah, I'm doing a great job coaching, but he turns it right over to his kids and he says, we have good players. So you got to take your hat off to Mike Kerpus, doing a great job.
That's not really Stoltz's game. Shooting from the outside. That one came up short.
You know, too, we said early on that Mifflinburg has to limit Valley View's second chances, and they're getting quite a few tonight.
Winner of this game will meet a very tough Berks Catholic team, who won District 3, or Bartram. They're playing at 8 o'clock tonight. This is just game 1 here at Shikellamy for us. We have Middletown out of District 3 against Montoursville, the District 4 champs, who played right here a week ago and beat Mifflinburg. That's coming up right after this game. And that will be a test, too, between a very good Middletown team, even though they came in as the 3rd seed. A lot of experience with Middletown against, a newcomer in Montoursville.
Yeah, Montoursville on a roll with 6 straight, and Middletown coming in with a senior-laden ball club that made it to the Final 8 last year in Quad A.
That's coming up, so stay tuned. We'll stay right here the whole time. Aaron Dugan will join us in between games with a special guest.
You know, Valley View's length is giving Mifflinburg a little bit of trouble as well, too, Bob. They're longer, they're active with hands on the defensive end, and it's really frustrating Mifflinburg.
Yep, Stoltzfus got Hawanitz.
You know, these guys too on Valley View, they're all pretty big and strong. I didn't know they were this big and strong. Smith and Hawanitz and even Dixon Black, and Kudrich is, like I said before, he's bigger than I thought he was too.
Again, just one senior. Nasir Smith is on the floor for Valley View. So if they can hang on to this, that'll be a big win. Some great experience. No matter what happens the rest of the year, it has to be a travel on Combs.
You had that one before the official had it.
I saw it. Yeah. Well, you know, as a youth coach, I can see that. I always think it's a travel, but the referee doesn't always see it that
How's
way.
your team doing down there?
Well, they're done for the season.
Oh, yeah?
We didn't do it. We did it good. The boys played well. Jordan Tyson lays it in.
And that's what you need if you're Mifflinburg. Get things going toward the basket. Get things down low. Don't settle for jumpers.
Kudrich doesn't have a field goal, I think, since the second quarter.
Well, ever since they went box and one on him, they did stop him. However, the supporting cast for Valley View.
Duplessis has come out in this third quarter.
Yeah.
And scored 8 points. He had 5 at the half. Our two spotlight players going head to head, but Kudrich gave it up. Hawanitz, no good. Oh, Smith just takes it away from Ramier. Can't get it to go.
Coach Skerpus looking for a foul. The Mifflinburg faithful looking for an over the back on him.
Ramier.
Good post move there. Took Smith to the basket.
He's got 9. If you're Valley View, I know you don't want to slow it down too much.
No, that's not the way they play. But you still want to. I think you still want to be aggressive. You know, for at least 3 or 4 more minutes. They might play for 1 here, though.
You don't want to take yourself out of the game that you like to play in. And how about Coach Kerpus? Just take a 30.
yeah, he wants to talk things over. I think he's probably saying the same thing you were going to say to him. You know, yeah, we want to value each possession. We want to take a little bit of time off, but we don't want to start stalling the ball just yet. So we're going to work our offense until we get a good one.
I mentioned it before. Now we have the Heartland Conference up. The Danville was the top seed in this district. They got beaten by Mifflinburg. We saw that game. And, you know, Loyal Stock's still alive. You see Montoursville, Mifflinburg. So always good basketball down here in Central PA.
Yeah, they play good basketball down here. And as you said, Mifflinburg, they kind of fouled things up with that 1-3-1 zone. It gave Danville fits. And then they hung around, and that was their game plan. And they pulled it out in the end. That's exactly what they wanted to do. That's pretty much the way they play every game. They try to do that against Montoursville too, and that was probably their game plan here tonight. But, you know, sometimes you just run into some buzzsaws.
Yeah, I mean, quite a turnaround though. A lot of respect for Mifflinburg when you go 3-20 last year, and you make it all the way to your district final before losing. I mean, that shows a lot of work ethic and a good effort from the players and the coaches.
Yeah, good leadership. You got some seniors, 3 seniors, and, you know, Stoltzfus with good players too, and Ramier doing a nice job as well. So this is a good team. It's a good unit. They've had a great year. Should they not come back and win this one?
Kudrich, he's got 18, and the full court shot almost go in, and that would have been the highlight of the night. So 3 in the books here at Shikellamy. It's been all Valley View from the opening tip.
Mid-Valley Plumbing Supply has been offering a full line of quality residential plumbing and heating products since 1958. Not an internet e-tailer, we invite you to come visit our extensive kitchen and bath showrooms located in Peckville and Carbondale.
Bye-bye, Doug Walsh, Aaron Dugan back in Sunbury. Opening round state playoff action in Class 4A. Valley View has pretty much dominated this game over the District 4 runner-ups from Mifflinburg.
Tyson's going back to the line. He's making a living there today, but he just can't convert.
This is his 10th free throw in this game. And he's got one of two. Biggest lead was 22 for Valley View. They led after quarter number 1, 18-9. Led 14 at the half and extended that the rest of the way. Juanez thought about it. He's got one of those today.
He did think about it.
How much do you play your starters now? I mean, you have till Tuesday now before your next game if you're Valley View and you pull this one out, which it looks like it's in the books already.
Well, you still have to play this for 3 or 4 more minutes with your with your stars. Nice job, Bob Idrer.
Well, I had to save the monitors. I don't want to hear it from my producer.
Cat-like quickness you have there, getting up and knocking that ball away. Now you still want to. This is a long way from over. You got to, and good defense there by Mifflinburg makes Valley View call a timeout. Chase Combs, a heady play, calls a timeout. So now this one's still not in the books yet, Bob, with 7:17 to go. So you still got to play this out for 3 or 4 more minutes. And you know, your team is young anyway, so they haven't been in this position anyway. You need them to get some experience.
There's a little bit of what we saw from Valley View midway through the season. They, lost to Abington and Western Wayne in there. They lost to Prep, but they revenged that after the fact. They lost to some very good, bigger schools too. Abington Heights are district champs.
Well, you look at that schedule right there. There's 5 losses in 7 games, but everybody loses to Abington Heights. They lost to Abington Heights twice. Everybody was losing to Scranton in that division. They lost to Scranton. West, a little bit of a surprise there with a 17-point win. And they, as you said, they avenged that loss to Scranton Prep. So, those losses right there aren't too bad because those schools are much better.
I don't think you can talk about the value of that division. I mean, Prep, a district champ. Abington, a district champ. Scranton played for the district championship. Valley View played for the district championship. And it's showing, I think, here tonight.
You're absolutely right. No disrespect to Mifflinville, but
nope.
Mifflinburg, but this isn't one of the better teams that they faced all year round. You're right. That schedule prepared them for this game.
And they were in all the games. They really did not get blown out.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Blocked by Stoltzfus.
And most of those teams, Bob, were bigger than them too, so you learn how to play against some bigger opponents.
Well, they'll get tested next week. Berks Catholic or Bartram. You would think Berks is going to move on, being the district champ. I think they're 3rd in the state.
Yeah, Berks is a good team with only 2 losses on the year.
Stoltzfus held in check. He had 4 last week in the district championship game. He has 5 here tonight. Tyson to keep, still put it in.
He's doing everything he can. Jordan Tyson, but he's going to need a little bit of help.
Well, with seniors on the floor, they're not going to give up.
No, absolutely not.
Awanit's fighting. How about Awanit's a 3rd try, and it goes.
Yeah, but you see Tyson, Bob, change that shot and got a hand on another one, but nobody cleaned up the mess for him. And you look at him, he's gashed. You see him coming down the floor now. Jordan Tyson is
season
dead
high.
tired.
Sorry, Doug. Season high for Dylan Hawanitz. 16 points right now. He did have 14 against Western Wayne.
Well, with the box and 1 on Kudridge, we said you needed other guys. And with Craig on the bench, you need other guys to step up and play for you. And certainly the supporting cast for Valley View is doing a real good job. Looks like Mike Kerpus got a timeout there with the possession.
I think Dixon Black on the floor got the timeout.
Yeah.
So that's a 30.
Yeah, Coach Kerpus a little excited with his guys. He knows that this team can score in a hurry, Mifflinburg, so it's not over yet. And you got to keep playing for 32 minutes. Stranger things have happened.
Things didn't start out that well for Mifflinburg this year. They lost to Penns Valley in first game of the year, and then a couple wins, then lost to Danville and Loyalsock back-to-back, and then went on a little roll before losing to Lewisburg. And it wasn't your typical Green Dragon team this year. They lost by 20 points, but give them a lot of credit with the Wildcats.
Well, as we said about Valley View, Mifflinburg, that's a tough schedule they play too. You know, Danville, I know they beat Danville, but Danville's a real good team. And
Loyalsock.
Yeah, all those teams, every night in that league, it's a tough out.
Kudrich with the left hand. It will go to the line.
The isolated Combs and Kudrich on the right side of the floor, and did a little pick and roll with them. You want to get Kudrich the ball as much as you possibly can, so he can do just about anything he wants, and then he can go to the line.
16, where Kudrich comes in averaging just about that.
You know, with Remier on the bench too, Kudrich has a size advantage over that entire Mifflinburg team.
Coming up on the 5-minute marks. We've held this sort of league between 17 and 22 most of this half as Valley View. Can't get the roll, and Jordan Tyson's going to come back with a foul. And that should send Valley View into the 1-on-1.
Yeah, a little frustration by Tyson. He thought he should have made that shot, but you got to credit Jordan Tyson. He's hustling. He's playing his heart out.
There you see a nice smile by Coach Kerpus.
It just didn't fall for Tyson, and then he committed an ill-advised foul 94 feet away.
Chase Combs on the board tonight with 3 free throws. Perfect from the line so far. Again, just a junior. He's perfect from the line for all his points.
Yeah, he comes in a 48% foul shooter, and he's 4 for 4 tonight. So
again, coming up next, we have Middletown and Montoursville in the opening round of the State 4A playoffs. Nice little turnaround from Stoltzfus.
Boy, he's got good offensive moves too, doesn't he? He's got that nice little step back jumper. He's hit that a couple times tonight.
Imatep's top-ranked team, District 112 champ, excuse me. They're always very good. We saw them last year against Prep, and you know, Prep wins tonight. They'll probably meet them Tuesday as well.
Yeah, Prep is playing Tamaqua,
and
the winner gets more than likely Imatep. You see the drive to the basket and the hang time. And there's Tyson.
We heard that. Daniel Craig with the foul. Daniel Zach, excuse me, with the foul. Heard that over here.
Dylan Hawanitz hanging in the air for quite some time.
Zach's first. Hawanitz back to the line. Mentioned the season high 16. Can't get the first one to go.
Now, you know, too, if you're Mifflinburg, Bob, you need to get back into this game, and you're going to need to commit some fouls. But the next foul they commit puts Valley View in the double bonus, so that makes it even more difficult to come back from. Combs with excellent defense on Logan Mensch, wouldn't let him in.
Stoltzfus starting to heat up, maybe a little bit too late though.
Nice, he's got good moves. He's got that nice pull-up jumper. He fades away. He can take you off the dribble.
9 for Stoltzfus. Hawanitz continues to shoot, and he keeps making them.
Well, Mifflinburg, in desperation mode, they have to go trap all over and double teams. When you double team, you leave somebody open.
And that will do it. We 3:27 left. We'll take our media timeout. Cougars on the way to the second round of the state playoff. They just need to wrap it up here in Shikellamy. We'll have that on the other side.
Come to Clarkey's Billiards on Kennedy Drive in Archbald and have a chance to win a free pool cue every Friday and Saturday night. Clarkey's is open 7 days a week and offers free pool lessons from the area's premier billiards professional, Kevin Clarkey. Join us every Friday for pool tournaments. Plus, kids enter for free. Clarkey's Billiards, 14 Kennedy Drive in Archbald.
Come back with the Chase Combs layup. First field goal of the night for Chase. Most of the starters still out there from both sides here late in this one. Pretty much this game not in doubt, and Stolzfus going to be fouled by Kudrich. 2 shots for him.
Yeah, you see Stolzfus. He's going to shoot it every time he gets it for the remainder of this game. And Kudrich still a little upset that he got that one off and he fouled him. Those guys are going at it pretty heavily this entire night. I think maybe 1 or 2 more whistles. You'll see both teams put their substitutes in. You see they're getting the hand for Jordan Tyson. Coach Rupp wants to go around and shake hands with all his teammates before he leaves the ball game. He played a great game, Jordan Tyson. He did all he could. I think Coach Rupp will probably, one by one, get his seniors a little bit of an ovation on the way out the door here. Classy move by the coach.
Five-second call out front.
Good defense by Jacob Young out there. Forced the 5-second call.
Pless is going to take a seat. So before the break, Doug, we had talked about Scranton Prep meeting Tamaqua and then probably playing Imatep. It's happened the last couple of years. It's something that the PIAA should look at, reseeding. How do you do it off of rating points? Or you just, hey, you're stuck with the tournament the way it is, and eventually you might have to play them as Stoltzfus puts one in.
Yeah, sooner or later you're going to run into them, but it shouldn't be in the second round every time, I don't think. I think they should do it more like the NCAA does. You know, it doesn't matter what part of the state you come from. You can go to the east, the southeast region, the west region, you know, and mix guys up once in a while. Send teams a little further away from home than they normally would go. Because every year there's a different good team from a different district.
But again, how do you tell who's good and who's not? I mean, we see tonight, you know, both teams are 2 seeds. You know, it's a 20-point lead for a team from District 2.
Now, there has to be some sort of rating system where you see 1 or 2 or 3 people see almost everybody that's involved in the tournament for at least, maybe at least once or twice, and give you a better idea. Because, sometimes the state championship game is, in essence, played in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, and then the final ends up being a blowout when the semifinal game or the quarterfinal game really was it was the best game of the bracket, so.
Well, you saw that maybe with Nanticoke, nothing to take away from them last year. They made a nice run, until the final 8 maybe. And, don't want to say it was easier side of the bracket because not fair to them. Where Prep had to play Imatep, like you said, in the second round again. But and they were the district champs, so you have 2 district champs going at it.
Yeah, or maybe reseed after each round. I don't know what the best answer would be, but there needs to be some adjustments. I think you're right. A little tweaking would help the tournament.
Dylan Hawanitz finishes with a season high 19 points. He takes the seat. And a timeout going to be called, I think, from the Cougars to get some subs in, as their fans who've made the trek down from the upper valley of Lackawanna County. Give them a good ovation, well-deserved.
Yeah, I think that timeout was just to get some subs in. And you notice they're going to leave Nasir Smith in. He's the only senior on Valley View, and he doesn't really get a whole lot of playing time, so they'll let him finish out this game. But he's going to have at least one more game in his career. I think you're right, though, Bob. The schedule that Valley View had to play all throughout certainly helped them in this game and may even help them going further in the playoffs.
90 seconds for the Cougars. Great bucket from Connor Kelly, the sophomore.
Hey, even these guys are out here having fun, both teams.
Stoltzfus probably going to stay to the end, the senior. 1,000-point scorer.
Yeah, they commit the foul on purpose. Now they're going to get an ovation for Stoltzfus, I'm sure. I have to believe that they're subbing on this on the second one for Tanner Stoltzfus, his final game as in a Mifflinburg uniform.
Connor Kelly at the line, the sophomore, misses that, and that's exactly what will happen.
Yeah, nice job by the coach, and get his seniors an ovation every time they, each and every one of them, leaving the ball game for their final game as seniors. Had a great career, Tanner Stoltzfus did.
Over 1,000 points scored in his career. You said started since freshman, right? So,
yeah. Well, you know, that says a lot too. When you come in as a freshman and you're starting on the varsity unit, I mean, that says a lot about a player. You know, and speaking of the freshmen, Bob, these Valley View Cougars, they all started 2 years ago as freshmen, most of them, and they took their lumps, they took their beatings.
And I heard they had a real good freshman team this season.
Well,
up in Valley View. So
the cupboard's not bare. The future's bright for the Cougars.
No doubt. .46 seconds left in this one. Backcourt violation. I just opened up some Twitter, saw a score. How about Dunmore girls beating Philadelphia Academy today, 45-9.
9 is the final score?
9 as the final score.
Well, that Dunmore girls team is starting to hit their stride too late in the season. That's not a team you want to play now.
I will double check that, but Monroe area 1-2. They're in Double A. Good chance for them. Schuylkill champs. So coming up next, we'll have Middletown and Montoursville right here as the opening round of the state 4A playoffs continues here on MyTV WQMY. Aaron Dugan will join us after this one with some post game, and she'll take us through up until our pregame show near about 15 minutes. So the Valley View Cougars win this one. They move on in the state playoffs. The final score 64-45. On the other side, Aaron Dugan with the Cougars. Nice win by the Valley View Cougars. They led pretty much the whole game, and they pull out a big win over Mifflinburg, and they're headed into the second round of the state playoffs. And Aaron Dugan has a couple of the players of the game over on the other side. Aaron?
That's right, Bob. We'll start with Mark Goodrich. Let's talk about the confidence you guys came in here with tonight. You had something to prove, it seems.
Yeah, we lost one of our leaders. So we've been through a lot of adversity, but practice, we went through all of our stuff, we got hot, and we came in with a lot of confidence.
What was working for you tonight? You know, what parts of the game were just really flowing?
Our offense was really feeling it. All of our guys, we have each other's backs. Anyone who's open, take it. We believe in all of each other.
How far can this team go this season?
You know, we got nothing to lose, so we're just looking to get out and play. Hopefully we can go as far as we can.
All right, great game tonight.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Dylan Hawanitz. How good does it feel getting that first round win tonight?
This is big for our school. We haven't won a state playoff game in 20 years. So this is really big for the school, for the community, and for our team. We work really hard.
Is this something you set out to do at the beginning of the season? Did you think you'd make this run?
Yes, we said in the beginning of the year, even though we're young, we're very talented. So I think that our coaches preached that, and we came in with a great game plan. We executed, and we're on the next round.
What do you have to do to keep playing basketball?
Win games, work hard during the week, and the sky's the limit for us.
All right, best of luck, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, let's go back to you.
Good luck to the Cougars as they move on. They'll take on Berks Catholic or Bartram. When we come back, Doug and I will wrap up this game and our final thoughts. Big win for the Cougars.
Wendy's High School Hoops is presented by the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships.
Doug Walsh and I back here at Shikellamy. Middletown and Montoursville warming up, and let's recap Valley View with a big win over Mifflinburg. So the Cougars move on. They came out pretty much from the outset, led 18-9 at the end of 1-14 at the half. Goodrich and Hawanitz doing a lot of the damage in the first half.
Well, you know, Bob, those two guys talking with Aaron after the game, sky's the limit. They believe in themselves. They believe in each other. They play together. They share the ball, and Aaron hit it as well, too. They're playing with an awful lot of confidence.
Absolutely. Let's not give any disrespect to Mifflinburg. Nice job on this season. Just came up short the last two games.
Well, it's unfortunate now you're at this time of the year where every team you play is going to be pretty good, so only one team can advance and one team has to go home. So good year for Mifflinburg, and congratulations to them.
Yep, back to the Cougars real quick when they went to that box and one on Goodrich, Hawanitz, Duplessis. The other guys had to step up, and they're going to see that in the next round, I'm sure.
Well, you know, now's the time where everybody's going to try to take your best player away from you. So a lot of these games in the state playoffs are going to be decided by the supporting cast for everyone.
Okay, again, Bartram or Berks Catholic awaiting the Valley View Cougars. When we come back, Air Dugan has a special guest from Sunbury Motors, and then we'll get you set for Game 2 of our doubleheader here in Shikellamy.